This is a place where we've had a lot of big events, and I'm so excited that the next big event is going to be the construction of a middle school. So we've been kind of working behind the scenes, kind of in the planning realm, and we anticipate having a about 135,000 square foot middle school, kind of state of the art. As you saw with Viera Elementary, we did a really good job of trying to bring in technology. We'll be doing the same thing with the Viera Middle School. The site will have 3 buildings. We've done some work to try to coordinate between the high school and the middle school. And so we've been working on design. We do have a designer that has been under contract for several months, and we went through a process with all of our educational stakeholders and our internal folks like technology, food services. We all get together and kind of talk through what do we need in the middle school. So I'm very confident that what we're going to be building is going to serve our students really, really well, because we did a pretty good job of making sure that we engaged all of our educational stakeholders. And we've gotten to a point in our design now where we're probably in the 60 to 70% done. And we're at a point where we'll be bringing in all our stakeholders again, going through the same type of exercise and making sure that before we go to final design, we have what we need to serve our students. So we also have a construction manager that is on board, so we've gone through that process, and they've been working side by side with our designer. So we're going to be ready to go pretty soon. Once we get through a few items with the school board, I anticipate getting started. Our first item will be an early works package where we order steel and big mechanical equipment, that type of thing, and then we should have the construction contract ready for board consideration in the spring. So we are moving forward and really excited about it.
And that's Wharton Smith is the construction group.
Wharton Smith is the construction manager. Yeah,
Yes.
design our middle schools. We design this one is going to be designed for 1,000 students. The actual capacity, we use a thing called a factor capacity, because sometimes you can't always use all the classrooms to their fullest capacity based on some of the programming. So we use a 90% factor. So the functional design for the middle school is going to be 900 students.
Absolutely. A lot of the rezoning stuff will start to occur to where you'll know ahead of time, so that prior to making that decision, you'll know if there's going to happen. I know that Ralph Williams is going to be concerned about where that line is going to go because you guys are over there. Absolutely, those numbers will be able to be out there and known prior to you guys having to make that decision on whether you're going to come in or out. One of the difficult things that we have is we have the numbers from the students that are inside of our schools, correct? So when we know when we're going to be judging how many teachers we need, how many of those things we need, it's based on who's in our public schools. The issue we have, and one of the fears that we have, is that we're going to build the middle school wrapped around the numbers that we know, and then all of a sudden in a 6-day count, all of these parents that are going to come in from the charter schools are going to say. So what my advice to everybody that's out there is, if you plan on coming to the middle school, please enroll your children into the public schools, because it helps us identify numbers, pathways, everything else ahead of time, and it also helps us with how many teachers we need, how many sports we need, and everything else. Having your child sit at the charter and then coming over is definitely a right. But the other thing is that we have so many programs that prepare our children for our public schools. So there's a lot of transitional things that go on. So right now, actually tonight at Suntree Elementary School, there's a transition to the upper level middle schools and everything else. Those things will be going on inside of our public schools, and we don't mind partnering with our charter schools to do that. The only issue is that it's not done to fidelity, you know what I mean, like we do inside of them. So if I have parents that are thinking about coming to our middle school, I would transfer out of the charter schools next year, have them go into our public schools so that we know the numbers of the flow, and that helps us tremendously, if that helps you.
Yes.
When we open a new school, when all the approvals are through, for a middle school, we hire the principal for the school a year before they open. So that would be this coming summer. We'd be working through that hiring process, and then the principal oversees all of the final checkoffs in the school, as well as begins the hiring process. So there'll be an advertisement process, interview process, and so on. But the principal will be responsible for that for the middle school. Each school will be its own standalone school. They'll have their own resources. The middle school will have its own gym, cafeteria, those types of things. I mean, this high school is a baseball throw, maybe not a baseball throw by me, but I'm sure we got a high school kid who can throw a baseball that far. We always promote and encourage our middle and high schools to be connected. So there's not an intentional shared right now, but that's not to say there couldn't be. You know, CTE comes to mind as access to some programming at the high school that we could facilitate with the middle school as well.
Sports programs,
Sports,
kind of
those
things.
types of things.
The track, they could run on the track. You know what I mean? There's an
Right.
opportunity to share. But I think but the main thing that a lot of parents have a fear of is my middle school child going to be mixing with the high school child? Absolutely not, unless it's by the permission of the parent for specific things that we may be developing, whether that's academic, sports, or career and technical.
Okay.
But there will not be a time where high school kids with any middle school child, unless it's already set up, the parents already know about it and they've approved it. And it's a special case.
That's exactly what we're working through right now in our Reimagining Middle School Review Task Force. So I would say stay tuned. I don't have an answer specifically about that yet, but you know, we have different programs at a lot of our different middle schools that feed into whatever their feeder schools are. So we're definitely taking a look at that.
So one of the issues that we have is definitely a lack of aquatic centers. If you guys remember, we had the YMCA was trying to build one right here and fell short of funding. I think that if we're going to build an aquatic center, it has to serve not only the school district, but also the county and also the citizens of the Viera area. In doing so, we don't want to take on the absolute capital of creating that. So we would love, and we always have, partnered with other organizations to try to do that. I think that the initial middle school site will not contain an aquatic center. So right now we're on track to open for 24-25. August of 24 will be the open date. And that is a well-attained schedule. Many people are going to say they can't build a school in 18 months. Well, did you guys remember what we did at Viera Elementary?
Nice.
There wasn't even a road to Viera Elementary, and we were building out there in the swamp. So, same contractor that was successful at Viera Elementary and building it in 12 months is now going to be successful in building this and putting it on time. And that's Jonathan Wilkes from Wharton Smith. Amazing company, amazing job. So, does that help out?
It does, thank you.